The arrows blot out the sun, thousands of them falling like rain, turning day into night. A Spartan warrior looks up, smiles, and says, "Good, then we'll fight in the shade." Around him, 299 other men, surrounded, outnumbered, doomed. In front of them, over 1 million Persian soldiers, the largest army ever assembled in human history, stretching to the horizon. This is the final hour of the 300 Spartans. But how did it come to this? How did 300 men end up facing 1 million? And why didn't they run?
10 years before this moment, the Persian Empire made a mistake. In 490 BC, King Darius of Persia, ruler of the largest empire on earth, sent an army to crush a small collection of Greek city-states. At a place called Marathon, 10,000 Greeks faced 25,000 Persians and won. The Persians lost over 6,000 men, the Greeks only 192. It was humiliating, embarrassing, unforgivable. Darius swore revenge, but died before he could return. His son, Xerxes, inherited both the throne and the grudge. For 10 years, Xerxes prepared. He gathered soldiers from 46 nations: Persians, Medes, Egyptians, Indians, Ethiopians, Arabs, warriors from every corner of his empire.
Ancient historians claim his army numbered over 1 million fighting men. So many soldiers that when they camped by rivers, the rivers ran dry from them drinking. So many ships, 1,207 warships, that they formed a bridge across the sea. This wasn't an invasion, it was an apocalypse, a tsunami of humanity rolling westward to destroy Greece forever. And the Greeks, divided, arguing, unprepared, were about to be crushed. But one city refused to panic: Sparta. To understand what happened at Thermopylae, you need to understand Sparta. Sparta wasn't like other Greek cities. There were no philosophers, no artists, no politicians. There were only warriors. From age 7, Spartan boys were taken from their mothers and thrown into the agoge, the most brutal military training program in the ancient world. For 13 years, they learned one thing: war. They slept on beds of reeds, ate minimal rations, fought each other constantly. They raised their sons with one command: come back with your shield or on it. Victory or death, nothing in between. When news arrived in 480 BC that Xerxes was coming, the Greek city-states held an emergency council. Most wanted to retreat, to hide behind their walls, to negotiate, to surrender. But King Leonidas of Sparta, a battle-hardened warrior in his 50s, saw something others didn't. If Persia conquered Greece, Western civilization would end. Democracy, philosophy, freedom, everything gone. Someone had to stop them, or at least slow them down. Leonidas proposed a plan: hold them at Thermopylae, a narrow coastal pass between the mountains and the sea where numbers wouldn't matter. In that narrow pass, Persia's 1 million-man army would have to funnel through, and there the Greeks could fight them on equal terms. But here's the problem: Leonidas couldn't bring his army. The Olympic Games were being held, and Spartan law forbade warfare during the sacred festival. The council told Leonidas, "You cannot march, not with the full army." Leonidas stared at them, his jaw set, his decision already made. "Then I will go with my personal bodyguard." He chose 300 men, all of them veterans, all of them fathers with living sons, so their family lines would continue. Because Leonidas knew from the beginning, this was a suicide mission. In August of 480 BC, the 300 marched north. Along the way, other Greeks joined them, about 7,000 total from various city-states. But everyone knew the Spartans were the backbone, the ones who would never break. They arrived at Thermopylae, the hot gates, a narrow coastal pass squeezed between mountains and sea. The pass was only 15 meters wide at its narrowest point. Perfect.
An army of 1,000,000 would have to funnel through a few hundred at a time. Here, numbers wouldn't matter. Here, the Greeks could fight on equal terms. Leonidas positioned his men and waited. And then the Persians arrived. When Xerxes saw the tiny Greek force, he laughed. His scouts reported back with bizarre news. The Spartans are exercising and combing their hair. Xerxes thought they were fools, primping before their deaths. But a Greek advisor explained, "My lord, this is what Spartans do before battle. They prepare to die with honor." Xerxes sent a message to Leonidas, a simple command: surrender your weapons. Leonidas's reply was even simpler: molon labe, come and take them.
For 4 days, Xerxes waited, expecting the Greeks to flee. They didn't move. On the 5th day, Xerxes gave the order: attack. What happened next shocked the ancient world. The Persians came in waves, thousands at a time, screaming, beating shields, a wall of humanity crashing forward. Arrows filled the sky, so many that day turned to dusk. But in the narrow pass, only the front ranks could fight. And there, they met the Spartan phalanx. Shields locked, spears forward, an impenetrable wall of bronze and death.
The Persians, lightly armored with wicker shields, crashed into the wall and were destroyed. Wave after wave they came, wave after wave they died. The Spartans rotated fresh men to the front, advanced, retreated, a killing machine operating with mechanical precision. One historian wrote, "The Persians fell like wheat before the scythe." Xerxes, watching from his golden throne on a hill, was furious. He sent in his immortals, 10,000 elite warriors, men who had never been defeated. They charged into the pass, confident, unstoppable, and they too broke against the Spartan shields. By sunset on the first day, thousands of Persians lay dead. Not a single Greek soldier had broken ranks. Xerxes, for the first time in his life, felt fear. But the second day would be even worse. Xerxes tried everything: more troops, different tactics, cavalry charges, archer volleys. Nothing worked. The narrow pass made cavalry useless, the Spartan shields stopped arrows, and in close combat, the heavily armored Greeks were superior. A Spartan named Leonidas was told by a Persian, "Our arrows will blot out the sun." Leonidas smiled and said, "Good, then we'll fight in the shade." For 2 full days, the Persians threw themselves at the Greek position. For 2 days, they were held. Xerxes was losing his mind, his unstoppable army stopped by 300 men. And then, betrayal. A Greek traitor, a local man named Ephialtes, came to Xerxes with information. There was a mountain path, hidden, known only to locals, that wound around behind the Greek position. For gold, Ephialtes would show them the way. That night, under cover of darkness, thousands of Persian immortals climbed the mountain path. At dawn, a Greek scout came running to Leonidas. "They're behind us, coming down from the mountains." Leonidas knew it was over. The other Greek forces wanted to retreat, to save themselves. Leonidas let them go. Most of the 7,000 withdrew. But Leonidas and his 300 Spartans stayed. About 700 Thespians refused to abandon them, and 400 Thebans remained. 1,400 men facing certain death. Why didn't they run? Because someone had to hold the pass, to give the others time to escape, to carry the message. Leonidas knew if he could hold for just a few more hours, his death would mean something. That morning, the Spartans prepared for their last battle. They combed their hair, put on their finest armor, and marched out of the pass, into open ground. No more tactics, no more strategy, just pure combat. The Persians hesitated, shocked to see the Greeks advancing. Then the battle began. The Spartans fought like men possessed, pushing deep into Persian lines, killing hundreds, thousands. They fought until their spears shattered, then drew swords. When swords broke, they fought with hands and teeth. King Leonidas fought at the front, leading until he fell. The Spartans formed a circle around their king's body, protecting it. 4 times they drove the Persians back. 4 times they held. But eventually, surrounded completely, cut off, they fought their way to a small hill. The Persians, no longer daring to face them, stood back and shot them down with arrows. Every single Spartan died fighting. Not one surrendered. Not one begged. Not one ran.
When it was over, Xerxes walked the battlefield and found Leonidas's body. In rage, he ordered the king's head cut off and placed on a spike, a dishonorable act, showing how deeply the Spartans had wounded his pride. Xerxes had won the battle, but at what cost? Over 20,000 Persians dead against 1,400 Greeks. And those 3 days the Spartans bought changed everything. The retreating Greeks spread the word. Leonidas had held. Persians could bleed, could be beaten. Athens had time to evacuate, to prepare their navy. Months later, at Salamis, the Greek fleet destroyed the Persian navy. The following year, at Plataea, the combined Greek armies crushed the Persian ground forces. Xerxes retreated. His invasion failed. The 300 Spartans had saved Western civilization. After the war, the Greeks erected a monument at Thermopylae. On it, they carved an epitaph. "Go tell the Spartans, stranger passing by, that here, obedient to their laws, we lie. No boasting, no glory, just duty, honor, sacrifice." For 2,500 years, people have remembered the 300, not because they won, but because they showed what humans are capable of when they refuse to surrender. They proved that courage, discipline, sacrifice can stand against any odds. The Battle of Thermopylae wasn't just a military engagement. It was a statement that freedom is worth dying for, that some things are more important than survival, that a few standing for what's right can inspire millions. Today, at Thermopylae, a statue of King Leonidas stands tall, shield in hand, facing east. Beneath it, those immortal words, Molon Labe, come and take them. 300 men against 1,000,000. For 3 days, they held the line. They didn't change the outcome, they changed history itself. And their story will never die. What would you die for? What cause, what belief, what principle is worth your last breath? The 300 knew their answer. Do you?